Mia, I've been trying to improve my English for a while now, but sometimes it feels like I'm not making any progress. It's frustrating, you know?
I get it, Tom. Learning a language takes time, and it's normal to feel stuck. But don't worry, there are some simple ways to improve your English, even if you're just starting. Want to know some tips?
Absolutely. I need all the help I can get.
All right, let's dive into it. Improving your English can be fun if you make it part of your daily routine. You don't need hours of study every day. Small, consistent efforts will make a big difference.
So, what's the first tip? Where should I start?
The first thing you can do is surround yourself with English. That means listening, reading, and watching as much English as you can. You don't have to understand every word, just hearing the language helps your brain get used to it.
That sounds easy enough. What should I listen to?
Anything. Start with things you enjoy, podcasts, songs, YouTube videos, or even TV shows. The key is to find something you like so you'll stick with it. The more you hear English, the better your understanding will become.
I like watching movies. Do you think that would help?
Absolutely! Watching movies or TV shows is one of the best ways to learn. Try watching with English subtitles. That way, you can match the words you hear with the words you see. Over time, you'll pick up new phrases and vocabulary.
I guess I'll need to find more time for Netflix then.
Practice speaking, even if you're alone. Okay, now for the next tip, practice speaking. I know it can feel scary at first, but the more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
That's the hardest part for me. I don't always have someone to practice with, and I'm afraid of making mistakes.
I get that, but you don't need someone else to practice. You can speak English to yourself.
Wait, really?
Yes, talk to yourself in English when you're doing everyday tasks. Describe what you're doing, think out loud, or even pretend you're having a conversation. It sounds silly, but it helps you get comfortable with forming sentences and speaking without pressure.
That sounds like a good way to practice. I could try speaking English while I cook dinner or clean the house.
Exactly. And don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. The more you practice, the better you'll get.
I'll give that a shot. It might be fun. What about learning new words? I always feel like I need to know more vocabulary to improve my English.
That's true, but you don't have to learn hundreds of words at once. Focus on a few new words each day. It's easier to remember small amounts, and you can actually use them in conversations.
How do I pick which words to learn?
Start with the words you hear or read often. If you come across a word you don't know, look it up, write it down, and try to use it in a sentence. Repetition is key. The more you see and use a word, the more likely you are to remember it.
I guess I could keep a list of words I find interesting.
That's a great idea. You could also use apps that help with vocabulary. Some apps send you a new word every day, which makes it easy to learn without feeling overwhelmed.
I think I'll start doing that. One new word a day doesn't sound too hard.
Exactly. Small steps lead to big improvements.
What about reading? I've heard that it helps with vocabulary and grammar, but I don't know where to start.
Reading is one of the best ways to improve your English, but don't worry about reading difficult books at first. Start with something simple, maybe short stories, comics, or even children's books.
Children's books? That sounds kind of easy, though.
It might seem easy, but it's a great way to get comfortable with basic sentence structure and vocabulary. As you improve, you can move on to more challenging books. The important thing is to find something that interests you, so you'll enjoy reading.
I think I'll start with some short stories or maybe news articles online.
Perfect! And don't forget to read out loud sometimes. It helps with pronunciation and fluency.
I've heard that having a language partner can help too. Do you think that's useful?
Definitely. Practicing with someone who is also learning can be really motivating. You can help each other improve and share tips. Plus, it's fun to learn with a friend.
But what if I don't have anyone to practice with?
You can find language partners online. There are lots of websites and apps where people from all over the world connect to practice languages. You could speak with someone learning English and help them with your native language in return.
That sounds like a good idea. I'll look into that.
It's a great way to improve your speaking and listening skills, and you can make friends at the same time.
So, it sounds like there are a lot of different ways to improve, but how do I stay motivated?
The key is to be consistent, but also to make it fun. If you're enjoying the process, you'll be more likely to stick with it. Set small goals, like learning 5 new words a week or watching an English video every day.
I like that idea. Small goals feel less overwhelming.
Exactly. And celebrate your progress. Every time you understand something new, or use a new word in conversation, that's a win.
I guess learning English doesn't have to be a boring task. It can be fun if I find the right methods.
That's the spirit. The more you enjoy the process, the faster you'll improve.
Mia, thank you so much for these tips. I feel a lot more confident now. I'm going to start surrounding myself with English, speaking more, and focusing on small improvements every day.
You've got this. Tom, remember, learning a language is a journey. It takes time, but with patience and practice, you'll see big improvements. Just take it one step at a time.
Thanks, Mia. I'm excited to get started. I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm sure you'll do great. Just keep at it, and soon you'll see how much progress you've made.